starting with positive reinforcement, this strategy involves rewarding desirable behavior, which can encourage students to repeat those behaviors. Rewards can involve verbal praise, stickers, or class privileges. This approach focuses on reinforcing good behavior rather than just punishing bad behavior. It is particularly effective among younger children through the use of things like stickers, but it is also used throughout school and even well into the workplace. For older students, focus on ensuring the incentives are more complex and aligned with the goals and desires of the students to maximize effectiveness. Giving a 15-year-old a sticker is far less likely to be effective than giving a 5-year-old a sticker. Next, we have clear and high expectations. By setting clear, understandable rules and expectations, we can help students to know what behavior is expected of them. Your expectations should be communicated early and then reinforced through constant reminders. Consistency in applying these expectations is crucial for their effectiveness, and ideally, they will all be consistently repeated by all the teachers that the student comes in contact with. Next, we have nonverbal cues. Using nonverbal signals like hand gestures or facial expressions can effectively manage behavior without interrupting class flow. These cues can signal students to pay attention, be quiet, or transition to the next activity, and help maintain a focused classroom environment. Next is proximity control. So moving closer to where a behavior problem is occurring can often stop that behavior without the need to verbally address it. This strategy relies on the teacher's physical presence to influence student behavior. It is a form of nonverbal cue, and like other nonverbal cues, it is subtle yet can be very effective in maintaining classroom control. Next is timeout. So removing a student from a situation where they are misbehaving gives them time to calm down and reflect on their own behavior. This strategy should be used sparingly and followed by a discussion with the student about their behavior. Timeouts are more effective when used as a reflective tool rather than merely as a punishment alone. Next is student contracts. When making a contract with a student who struggles with their behavior, focus on having the student come up with their own specific and personalized goals. The goal of a contract should be to involve the student in their own behavior management. Contracts can also include clauses about rewards that the students can expect for meeting behavioral goals. Overall, they could help students to develop a sense of responsibility and ideally self-regulation. Next up is group contingency. So this approach involves setting behavior goals for the entire class and rewarding them if they collectively meet the goal. It can be an effective way to encourage teamwork and collective responsibility. Rewards might include extra recess time, a class party, or a fun educational activity. One downside of this approach is that well-behaving students may often feel as if they're being held back by poorer behaving students who may ruin the reward for everyone. Next is choice offering. So this involves giving students multiple productive options to choose from rather than directing them to do just one thing. This can reduce power struggles. By offering controlled choices, students feel empowered and are more likely to engage positively. Choices can range from selecting classroom activities to choosing where to sit in the classroom or anything else that's contextually relevant. Next is modeling. So demonstrating the behavior you expect from students can be a powerful tool. Teachers who show respect, patience, and kindness implicitly encourage students to exhibit the same behaviors in the classroom. Modeling also includes demonstrating how to handle conflicts gracefully and even admitting when you are wrong. Restorative practices. So this approach focuses on repairing the harm caused by misbehavior and restoring past relationships. It involves discussions among conflicting students to understand the impact of their actions upon one another and to develop a plan to make amends for their behaviors. Restorative practices foster empathy and responsibility, but beware that sometimes it can force victims to come face to face with the misbehaving students who harmed them, which could at times be traumatizing. So this approach should only be used with the consent of all the students involved. Next is behavioral charts. Tracking and displaying student behavior can be a visual way to manage behavior. Charts can track both positive and negative behaviors, providing immediate feedback to students. These charts can also be motivating to students as they can visualize how close they're getting to milestones, such as 10 stars, which will get them a treat. However, behavior charts should be used sensitively to avoid shaming students publicly. Next is redirecting. So redirecting involves guiding students' attention away from inappropriate behavior and toward more appropriate tasks. Redirecting is a subtle way to diffuse potential behavior issues without direct confrontation. It's most effective in the early stages of misbehavior as it's a preventative measure that diffuses the situation before it gets out of hand. Next is logical consequences. Applying consequences that are logically related to the misbehavior can help students understand the impact of their actions. So for example, if a student misuses a tool in the classroom, they might temporarily lose the privilege of using that one tool. Logical consequences are more effective than arbitrary punishments because students can see the fair and logical reasoning behind the consequence. Next is peer mediation. This method involves getting peers involved in resolving conflicts. It can be especially effective with older students. This method encourages students to listen to each other and resolve issues collaboratively, perhaps even without the teacher's direct intervention, although it is recommended that the teacher be present, at least as a mediator. This strategy teaches valuable conflict resolution skills among older students. And lastly, we have structured routines. This is a proactive strategy, but it's one that's really effective. Having a consistent routine helps students know what to expect and reduces anxiety and misbehavior among students. Routines can include specific procedures for transition between lessons, how to start classes each morning, and what we do each day when ending the day. Consistency in these routines creates a stable environment where students feel secure. So those are my top 15 classroom management strategies. If you want my top 15 teaching strategies, click the video on screen now.